republic for which it stands, one nation, under
under
God,
God,
indivisible, liberty,
and
justice for all.
Awesome. Okay, everybody. Rick Dunn, roll call.
Yes, sir. From the city of Ansonia, I believe we have
Here,
Sheila O'Malley.
here.
Is there anyone from the town of Beacon Falls?
Hey, Rick. I can't, I'm having a lot of trouble hearing. Might be on my end. I'm just checking. Like,
Can everyone else hear me fine?
Yeah, we do, Rick.
Yep.
all right.
Okay. I don't believe Jerry Smith is here from Beacon Falls. Bethlehem, First Selectman Assard.
Here.
From Bristol, I know that Ray Rogozinski is with us. Is Mayor Zaposasu with us? I don't believe so.
I thought Ray Rogozinski here.
Yeah, no, I got Ray. From the town of Cheshire? Anyone? Okay. City of Derby, Mayor Zikan is with us.
Here.
Town of Middlebury, First Selectman St. John is with us.
Here.
Borough of Naugatuck, Mayor Hess is with us.
Sure.
I believe from the town of Oxford, First Selectman Temple is with us.
I'm here. Kristen, I'm here for George. Yep.
Oh,
Good morning,
says,
everyone.
It says George.
Morning.
Yes.
From the town of Plymouth is Mayor Merchant with us. Not yet. We're expecting. Actually, we're not expecting him today. Take that back. Mayor Chatfield is with us in the conference room. From the town of Seymour, First Selectman Dragonis. No. Okay. From the city of Shelton, Mayor Loretti. Mayor, are you on the phone? Okay. From the town of Southbury is First Selectman Manville with us.
Here.
Thank you. From the town of Thomaston, First Selectman Moan is with us in the conference room, I believe. From the city of Waterbury, Mayor O'Leary is with us. We don't have anyone from the town of Watertown yet. From the town of Wolcott, Mayor Dunn is with us in the conference room. Correct?
Yep, here.
Tommy's here.
And from the town of Woodbury, First Selectman Perkinson is with us today.
I'm here, but I can only stay about 10 minutes. I have another appointment at 10:30.
Okay. Mayor, you have a quorum present for both the NPO and the Council of Governments.
Okay, great. And I, like First Selectman Perkinson, I have a hard stop at 10:45, so I'll go as far as I can, guys. And then I got to go to a vaccination center for a little presser.
Yeah.
All right. So item agenda 1C, public comment. Anybody here from the public who wishes to address our board?
I'd like to speak under public comment. Just to let you all know that the tanker task force from Region 5, which includes Southbury, Middlebury, Oxford, Beacon, Prospect, Bethany, all were called to Borough Inn last Saturday night for a major structure fire that they had there. So I just want to let everybody be aware of that. If the first selectman or mayor didn't know from that town, it was quite the sight to see our trucks up and everybody's trucks up in Borough Inn.
Wow, I can imagine. That's great. Okay. Any casualties of that fire?
Oh. Full 50 square 100 foot square house way out in the boondock someplace.
Wow. Okay.
Department's always pulled together.
Yep.
That's great. Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak under public comment?
Sure. This is George Logan here.
Hi, Senator. How are you?
Good. Yeah, as many as you know, I'm a former state senator. Today I'm with my resident of Ansonia hat, and I'm also a vice president on the board of the Housatonic Valley Association. So I'm just here just to comment on later in the agenda. We're going to talk about the Kittytown Dam, and I just want to stress that I think it's important that we as Naugatuck Valley support certainly the efforts to the continued restoration of the Naugatuck River. The Kittytown Dam is an important spot and location, particularly for fish migration, and HVA and myself and others are looking to provide support via a letter to federal regulators, FERC, and to state regulators to study, particularly this spring, because this is a fish migration system. There's a fish ladder there that we don't believe is working. We don't think it's working at all, but we need a study to kind of verify that. And so I just want to just mention that to the group. The environment and the impact of the environment is very important. We know how important the Naugatuck River is, and this is an opportunity to take a look at that location.
Great. Well, we appreciate that, Senator. And as you'll hear in a little bit later in the meeting, there's quite a bit that we'd like to fill you in on it too, as to what we've been doing recently. And you know, a lot of this has been driven by Kevin Zach. We're very grateful for that as well. So stay tuned just for a little bit. We'll get on that Kittytown Dam stuff.
Will do. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's it. Is that it for public speaking?
Mayor, could I just, Ed St. John, could I just offer one comment because you may leave the meeting before I get to the end?
Sure.
I just want to reach out and say my extreme thanks to the city of Waterbury, the Waterbury Police Department post-college for how well you have organized that mass vaccination center at post-college. It couldn't have been done without your steady hand.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you. It's really.
I went through it. And I'm going to tell you, they did a magnificent job of making it all work. I got caught in that group where they took the snow days and pushed them all into that Wednesday. I was in that Wednesday group. I got to visit all your country club road neighborhoods that I haven't been in several years.
I heard.
Great job. They did a super job. Your police department, all the people that did it. And I'd love to have the record show that too.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll let the guys know. Okay. Item agenda 2. Mark Nielsen, you want to take over from here?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick couple of updates. First off is the efforts to redesignate the Greater Bridgeport and Valley MPO. As you're aware, the lower valley towns of our region, Ansonia, Derby, Shelton, and Seymour, are still part of the GBV MPO. And there's been a push to redesignate to allow at least Ansonia, Derby, and Seymour to separate from the GBV MPO and join the Central Naugatuck MPO. There's still some resistance from Mayor Ganem of Bridgeport. He's still unconvinced that the redesignation would be a good idea. We are working with NVCOG and putting together a technical memo that would analyze the implications of the redesignation and how we continue to work together and go forward. So that's in progress. We just wanted to keep the CNVMPO up to date on those efforts. The second item is a couple of project updates that we're working on. It's been a while since we sort of given the board a sort of like a full status of all the work that we've been doing for not only our region and MPO, but as members of the Greater Bridgeport Valley MPO. The projects I have listed are the ones that we are currently actively working on. The first 3 are actually part of the Greater Bridgeport, but we wanted to sort of talk about this all as one. Derby Shelton Bridge renovation is a project that we've been administering and managing and working with the city of Derby and Shelton on. That project is had been advertised for construction. The bid was awarded to Mohawk Northeast Construction. And that project should actually break ground in April. The Route 34 reconstruction is a major project in the city of Derby. 90% design plans have been submitted to the state for review. And again, we're really pushing hard on that to get that under construction this year, probably later September, October. Route 67 spot improvements up in Seymour. We've just completed the preliminary design, and we are formulating the comments from a public information meeting that we held, as well as working with the town on what items they are willing to participate in. So that's moving forward. We're hoping to get into this final design real soon. It's probably going to be another year or 2 before that project will be ready for construction. The Route 8 Waterbury Rail Line Alternative Modes Assessment Study. That is moving as well. We are focusing in on putting together a visualization of our recommended program. So we feel the visualization and video will really give everybody a sense of what it is we're trying to recommend. That project should wrap up by the end of June. Again, we are managing that study and working with the consultant.
Mark, let me interrupt you a second. I just need to ask First Selectman Smith if he can just speak up to see if we can hear him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. He's been on the call from the beginning. I've been texting with him. He can hear us, but he cannot.
Yeah, you usually I'm told I'm speaking too loudly.
I don't hear First Selectman Smith, so
Okay.
First Selectman, I suggest you log out and log back in, give that a shot. But you're clear at our end. We don't have you blocked.
Okay. And then the next two projects are two planning studies that we receive funding through DOT. The Route 229 corridor study is through Bristol and Southington. This is one we're working with the Capital Region very closely on. That study is right now in the initial existing conditions phase. We are doing a lot of data collection using our streetlight data platform, which is a way we can collect data with actually not going out into the field. West Main Street corridor is in the city of Waterbury, and that runs from the west end of the Waterbury Green out to Route 8. Again, both these planning studies are looking at road corridors that have a lot of intersections, curb cuts, some inconsistent lane widths. And so the idea is to look at both corridors to see what kinds of improvements could be implemented to improve safety, improve traffic flow and efficiency along those. Then the last one I just want to mention is the Oxford Main Street. We're working closely with the town of Oxford in their efforts to sort of reimagine travel on Route 67 through their town to sort of recreate that as a main street. We're looking at pedestrian and bicycle safety improvements and enhancements. Again, we're working closely with their Main Street committee. And we did have a stakeholder meeting a couple of weeks ago where we presented a lot of the preliminary information. So again, it was just a quick update on on the work that we've been doing. And then the last item on the CNVMPO meeting is the Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Program. This is a federal aid program that the state is asking the regions and MPOs to solicit projects from their towns. Again, the lower valley towns, Derby, Seymour, Ansonia, and Shelton are working through the greater Bridgeport and Valley MPO. But we're trying to work with our towns to get project proposals. These are projects to try to improve the air quality in the region. And typical types of projects are traffic signal improvements, but other, we have a whole list of eligible items that we've sent out to the town. So we're just making it known that we are looking at projects and willing to work with the towns. We have a deadline for submittal to the state in April, and the MPO has to endorse our list at the March meeting. So we've already held a couple of meetings with your staff, but we're encouraging additional. We want to get more information out there in case there is some projects that you may have been thinking about but haven't submitted yet. And with that, my report's done. Any questions?
Good job, Mark. Any questions for Mark?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
If I may ask,
Just 1 second.
Sorry,
We have First Selectman Smith. We can hear you now.
okay, good, thank you.
so Mayor, if I may ask a brief question regarding item 1, the redesignation of the towns that desire to join this group, in terms of, the CNVPO. Is there any workaround? We have 3 towns that desire to be in this grouping, and the mayor in Bridgeport simply refuses to let them go. Is there any other means by which to allow them to join?
No, federal regulations vest essentially a veto power by the largest city of the MPO. In this case, it's the city of Bridgeport. Without their approval, no, it can't go any, we don't have a workaround, so no.
I remember explicitly that was the case. I was just asking if there was any other means by which so can the three towns petition in some manner to the state of Connecticut or the federal guy? I see Rick Dunn nod his head no. Okay, moot point. Just thought I would ask.
And
I
again,
have
we're-
a,
sorry.
excuse me, Mark, I had a question of Mark when he's through. Ed St. John.
No, I'm all set.
Mark, I had a question not relevant to what you were saying there. We have that, as you're very familiar with the, that big 17 interchange with bypass roads, 63, 64. It's a very massive project.
Correct.
We had a meeting yesterday on some preliminary design and it got rather heated. It has to do with drainage coming down in the area of Maggie McFly's and our a big public works facility that's there is always getting flooded and looks like they're going to be giving us more water. Is there something that I could chit chat with you about it and get some technical assistance from you on how to proceed with this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because we have been following that project that carefully, since it, went into design. Once it goes into design, it's a DOT responsibility. But no, if you have questions or issues, please reach out to us. We'll set up a meeting with the department and have a one-on-one discussion with their engineers and voice your.
I just want to chit chat with you and I'll give you a call after the meeting. Thanks, Mark.
Okay. Yep, thank you.
Any other questions for Mark? Okay, great. We don't have to vote on any of that, do we, Rick?
No votes on the MPO.
Okay, cool. Okay, item agenda 3, it's my pleasure to nominate First Selectman Ed St. John to fill the vacancy on the executive committee of the NVCOG. Can I have a motion?
You have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Under discussion, anyone would like to discuss this nomination?
Good choice.
We're meeting with Courtney today, 12?
Agreed,
You sure about that?
agreed.
Eddie knows his way around the ropes. We're all good with him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you, and thanks for volunteering to do this, Ed. We much appreciate it. So all in favor,
Thanks,
say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
Welcome aboard, or welcome back aboard.
I know.
Okay, item agenda 4, appointment of Mayor Zikan to the EPA Revolving Loan Fund Committee. My Rich Zikan asked or volunteered to be on this revolving loan fund, and we're grateful to have him on board. May I have a motion?
That motion, Ed Mullen.
Done.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor Hess. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Congratulations, Mayor Zikan.
Thank you, Mayor.
Item agenda 5, NVCOG administrative items. Approval of the minutes of the December 11th, 2020 NVCOG meeting.
Second, Ed Mullen.
I didn't hear a motion.
I
Bob
We'll
jumped
make
out
that
right out.
motion, Mayor.
still talking.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Let me see.
Item agenda 4B, approval of the agency financial reports and summaries for period ending 12/31/20. Michael?
Thank you. And a happy lunar New Year to everybody. So this is the summary financial report for the period ending December 31st. It was previously approved in the executive committee meeting on January 29th. But it's up here for your all approval as well. The bottom line is $83,000 for halfway through the year. We expect that to be closer to zero when the year ends. There have been no other significant changes in funding, whether it be a decrease in funding sources or exuberant over expenditure in one of the expense line items. Any questions?
All right, motion to approve as presented. Ed Mon.
Okay,
Second, Bristol.
thank you, Bristol. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Item agenda 4C, publication of the FY20 audit report. Michael?
Thank you. So the FY20 audit report was completed at the end of January and has been publicized. You all also received a copy of it either at the beginning of this week or late last week. It was discussed in the executive or audit committee meeting on January 29th. In short, the auditor did not find any material misstatements or deficiencies in internal control. Net assets did increase by about 136,000, but I am also happy to answer any questions here, or if you guys want to further investigate, and please reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any and all your questions.
Any questions for Michael for now?
If I may, Mayor, Edmond, just a brief comment, and please clarify if I am incorrect. Mike, as I looked at that audit, I found got a fund balance, undesignated fund balance of $752,756, which represent a little over 17% of our expenditures. Is that correct? Am I correct in that evaluation?
Yeah, let me just go down to the page.
But that's substantially correct.
Yeah.
Again, Rick?
It's substantially correct. I mean, our budget varies from year to year, but because of projects, but that's about right.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make note of that as we begin to finalize our upcoming budget. So, I'm sure part of the concern would be are we going to get proper revenue from the state of Connecticut? But I'd just like to make note of that in light of the letter that we've just received, for that matter, as to the fact that we may be able to negate any increase in town contributions. Just a thought at this point. Get out there as information. With that all said, I'll make a motion to approve the audit as presented.
Oh, there's actually no need for approval.
No motion is required. The audit committee has accepted the audit. The board typically does not vote on the audit. It's an opinion of what they present.
Very good. I stand corrected.
Any other questions on the audit? Okay, well, as you said, Mike, if folks want to take a look at the report, we can discuss any concerns or any questions at the next meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. Item agenda 4D, director's report. Rick?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just note for everyone, there's a revised agenda that went out this week. So with apologies to the chair, we should be on item 5D right now. So I only have one thing, nothing important.
Oh yeah, what did I say, 4D?
We're good. There was an original agenda that went out, and then there was a revised agenda that went out on Wednesday. So the revised agenda is the one we're following. Nothing new, just a change in order. I have nothing, very simple on the director's report today, because mostly everything else is in the agenda. I have your parking passes for the city of Waterbury, courtesy of the mayor's office and the Waterbury Police Department. We have a request this year from the city that you return your prior year's pass, and we'll be happy to give you your new one. So they're here in the office, and I suggest that any of you, if you want me to drop it off, let me know that, and I'll make a trip out to your town hall, or if you want to pick it up the next time you're in Waterbury, you can get here. With that, Mr. Mayor, I have no other director's report.
Okay, thank you. That was maybe your briefest director's report
ever
in the history of the NVCOG. Just noting it. Item agenda 5E is in Edward, 2021-2022 preliminary budget estimates and dues notice. Michael?
Thank you. So in the executive committee on January 29th, the executive board did approve preliminary budget estimates for fiscal year 2022. It's a little bit different of a process than we've done in the past. Essentially, there has been some debate in the audit as to what counts as the original budget. So traditionally, the preliminary budget has been counting, and then there's additional work that has to be done when we do end up approving the budget in June. So to solve that problem, it's preliminary budget estimates. We expect to see some changes in some of the line items in the budget, especially as we're able to hone in on the numbers. A couple key factors. We are expecting about an 8% increase in insurance. This includes a little bit more of a robust staffing plan. But on the whole, everything is similar. I will make note that.
Yeah, I just want to note for the board while we're on health insurance, we got our preliminary, we have 8% in the budget, which is what we anticipated in January. We just got our early notice from the state on the from Anthem on the increase. It's projected to be 4%. So it still could vary by the time it goes into effect, but we don't expect it to be more than 5% and could be 3%. So.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, Rick. Did you say that your healthcare costs are going to go up by 4%?
Yeah, our healthcare insurance premium, we have a notice for the plan. We get an early notice in February each year to go into effect for the beginning of the premium year. So for the next premium year, we've been notified of a 4% increase. We're expecting 8%, but 4% is the one coming up for the
4% is very good, I might note.
4% year over year is good.
4%.
Oh, yeah.
Current environment it is, Mayor, from my observations.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah, previous years have been about 8%. That's why that was the placeholder number for this year.
Okay.
Have we looked at other providers? Because we're with the Connecticut Partnership Plan and we got a 1% increase.
Yeah, it's by county now. So if you're based in Litchfield County, it's a very small increase. Hartford County is projected at 0, but we are in New Haven County. So we're getting a 4% increase this year and 8% last year. It's all county adjusted now.
Oh, can we change the county line a little bit?
But we shop the policy every year. We're not obligated to stay with the program. We've run through our initial period. So we shop every year. Our broker actually goes out and comparison prices, the premiums and policy coverage every year.
Okay.
Wow. Well, that's a lot more than what we do over here, I can tell you, but I'm with Lenny. All right.
We don't have unions there.
Yeah. That's true. Okay. Well, I appreciate those updates. I'm glad to hear that the broker is shopping around. I'd be curious to see a report as to what those results of his shopping around or her shopping around has yielded, though. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, just to keep them honest. Okay. Item agenda 6, emergency management update. John Field, are you here?
Yes, Mayor, I'm here.
All right. Nice.
How are you, sir?
Great, thanks. Good to hear from you. Thanks for all your support. Floor is yours, my man.
Thank you. Just going to go through a few things, just a couple of the highlights here because it's still pretty busy, but real important, Tropical Storm ICAS. We have scheduled application briefs. There are 6 briefs starting next week, I think on the 17th, and they go through the 25th. They're all virtual, and you can attend any one of those. So if you did not get that information, please let me know. I sent it out last week. We still continue to monitor the PURA review of the utility companies and their response to Tropical Storm ICAS. That's still moving forward, and we continue to monitor the progress of that. As all of you are probably aware, because you're all, I think you're all Eversource, there might be some UI down in the Southern Valley. There is considerable changes that are happening in regards to apps and all sorts of online stuff with Eversource. If you didn't know that, they're trying to schedule meetings with each of them. So also FEMA reimbursements for COVID response, we continue to monitor that. Something went out last week regarding the health departments. If you have a health department, the health department will work through the municipality to get their reimbursements. If it is a health district, they will be able to rely on their own. So that's the big difference between the two. I know some of you have your own departments and then some of you are part of a district. So just so you're aware of that, continue to monitor as far as long-term recovery and the economics part of things. We had the PPP program, which is that paycheck protection that came down from the federal government. Also the EIDL program, which is the economic injury disaster loans. And there's other programs that keep coming from the federal side of things. The Biden administration obviously has made some changes and is trying to support as much as he possibly can to our small businesses and businesses throughout the country. So we'll continue to monitor that. Also our nonprofits, we continue to try to work with our nonprofits, not only for reimbursement for some of these things, but just recently there was a nonprofit security grant program that was available for our nonprofits. I send that out to you to share with your nonprofits. And then at the same time, we utilize our long-term recovery steering committee, who has people that focus specifically on nonprofits to get that information out also. You should have gotten a survey in regards to transportation to vaccine sites. We're starting to identify or attempt to identify all of the transportation resources available so that we could see exactly what we have. I know Naugatuck Valley COG, especially Joanna, has done a tremendous amount of work in regards to collecting some of these resources already. This is a good opportunity for us to help her update that information, as well as if we've missed anything, capturing it now. So if you've gotten that survey, please send me back a response so we can start to collect that. We're still really trying to make sure we reach out as far as we can to those vulnerable populations, our homeless and all such, to assure that they have every opportunity to get vaccinated or tested. Same with the messaging. That's, again, we continue to work to assure the messaging gets out to as many people as possible regarding where our locations are. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are still hesitant in regards to getting the vaccine. So trying to develop messaging to assure that people understand completely what the effects of the vaccine are, as well as the protection it provides. So hopefully we can get as many people as possible. I know Team and Griffin Hospital have done videos. If you need a copy of that, let me know. They're actually pretty good videos in regards to trying to assure people it's safe to get a vaccine. And then the last thing I have, I just throw this out there for a lessons learned. And I know, I'm sure First Selectman Manville knows about this, but Highwatch Farms, which is a drug and rehabilitation center up in Kent, was able to get some vaccines. And basically, they vaccinated their own staff and residents, and then they started to spread their wings, so to speak, and go out into other areas and other parts of the region. This goes for Shelton too. So they reached out to Heritage Village in Southbury and set up appointments for folks in Heritage Village, unbeknownst to the town or the public health district. So as you can imagine, stirred some angst in regards to not knowing that these folks, especially from the health district, not knowing that these folks are moving in there. Come to find out, they weren't approved by public health, local public health, to do so. So they basically, shut them down, so to speak. But because people had already scheduled appointments for vaccines, they brought in Waterbury Hospital to take over the operation for there. And then they were also scheduled to go to Shelton. But they had enough advance notice to Shelton that they ended up canceling that. But I bring that up only because one of the things we're really working on is to assure these people that set up these vaccination sites and or testing sites, notify the municipality and notify the public health districts to assure that you guys are on the same page, you're part of the planning process, because it does affect your municipal operations. So I think that's all I have for now, Mayor. Joanna, I'm not sure if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I'd like to just take a couple minutes to do a little bit of a deeper dive into the long-term recovery committees. So when the long-term recovery committees were organized this last May and June, the main mission was to ensure any and all unmet needs from COVID-19 public health emergency were being addressed. Now, it was based on the belief that all needs begin and end locally. Now, often these needs can be met locally, but when they can't, that's where these regional subject experts that comprise the long-term recovery regional steering committees and subcommittees can be stepping in and helping. Now, these long-term recovery committees were formed with the idea that COGs have the best knowledge and ability to address long-term needs at the regional level. However, at the time, the existing network was the DEMIS, and they've been awesome with disaster recovery and immediate needs. That's the framework that was in place. And they've been working really hard these last months on PPE, COVID testing and vaccination sites, transportation, like what John Field was just talking about, communication, and short-term housing needs and food. And that's particularly with the community resource coordinators. They're doing a really great job. And also Red Cross, very great. So as we move from immediate response to recovery, and this has arguably been happening concurrently, the focus is shifting from economic resilience, from immediate response to economic resilience and recovery. So this is where the regions are going to align more closely with the COG boundaries and economic development districts. Now, the Global Resilience Institute, which was hired by the state to do these kind of economic resilience reports, are expected to have, at the end of this month, updates to these reports. And they've been researched and written to address the boundaries that are recognized by Economic Development Administration and the economic development districts to be able to more easily and quickly apply for future federal grants and assistance. Now, as far as Region 5 is concerned, the Region 5 subcommittees are focused on philanthropy and finance, education, technology, health and human services, jobs and business, arts, culture, tourism, and recreation. So our last meeting was this past Wednesday, and we had a good discussion about ongoing unmet needs, which include, number one, long-term unemployment, food insecurity, the cost of personal protective equipment, meeting the needs of homeless and homebound, small business assistance and access to capital, that was a big one, workforce retraining. And just wanted to give you just a refresher on that and just information about what these, as we move forward, what these long-term recovery committees will be addressing. So the next meeting for the Regional Recovery Steering Committee is March 10th at 11 a.m. And thank you, and I can answer any questions.
Thank you. Thank you both, John and Joanna.
Mayor, if I may, I just need to reiterate how much I truly appreciate Rick and Joanna's help with this whole long-term recovery. There is no way possible that we could have the success we've had so far without their assistance. So I need to reiterate that, how important it's been and how much we truly appreciate that, Mayor. So thank you.
That's great. Thank you for saying those words, John, and Joanna, great job, and we're grateful for your attention.
Could I just give two extra points? And this is on Regional Emergency Planning Team. Sure. Next meeting for the steering committee is next month, and the Community Emergency Response Teams annual reports are due next week, and I've been collecting them, and we look like on target to get those in.
All right.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions or comments for these two? Okay, everybody, thank you. Thanks, John. Thanks, Joanna. Great work, both of you. Item agenda 7, NVCOG Planning Transportation, lot zip.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I got a couple.
Hold on, Christian. Hang on, Christian. Mr. Mayor, I need to let you all know that today will be Christian's last meeting with us. He will be leaving us for a job in Central Vermont regional planning. He'll be leaving the end of February and will not return to this region. Again, he will not be back for another board meeting. I really want to express my thanks. He's been a fabulous supervising transportation plan. He's done a really, really good job for us, extraordinarily dependable, and we wish him well in Vermont.
If I may, Director Dunn, I would also like to add on to that. As chairman of the TTAC committee, I have had the pleasure to work closely with Christian. And honestly, he's always been an extreme help, not just to Bristol, but you can tell based on the meetings, to other communities. And certainly he'll be sorely missed. So.
All right. Well, Christian, we wish you a lot of luck. What part of Vermont will you be living in?
I'll be in Montpelier, right in the central part of the state.
Good for you. Well, good luck and congratulations.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to it, but obviously not without a certain amount of remorse leaving the Naugatuck Valley and professional relationships I've built there over the years. But with that, I will get on to lot set. So I have several items for you today. First, a couple new projects in the city of Bristol. We have a culvert that needs to be rebuilt on Divinity Street. And in Beacon Falls, Burton Road has been closed because the substructure is failing essentially, and the road is slowly sliding into the adjacent river. They're both good projects, both qualify under are eligible under the LOTSIP program. And there's more information in your packets. I'm looking for a motion to endorse resolutions 2021 and 12 and 13.
Motion so moved from Bristol.
I'll second it. From Ed St. John, second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 And second items are cost increases. Again, there's more materials in your packets, but in the town of Seymour and Watertown, the one is the Bungay, Botsford, and West Church Road reconstruction. This project has had substantial cost increase due to the completion of a engineering survey, which led to essentially more materials, more drainage to meet the road conditions. The second one are the ADA ramps project in Watertown. Essentially through the review process with District 4, the scope was expanded significantly, requiring the town to expand the designs out further into the sidewalks and even into the intersections where they were making these ramp improvements. And under this item, I'm looking for an endorsement of resolutions 2021, 14, and 15.
Motion so moved from Bristol.
Seconded.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Christian, lots of luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Congratulations, Christian.
Okay, Rick Dunn, we're going to go to item agenda number 8, and I'm going to have to depart. I think Mayor Loretti's arrived. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. Before I go though, Rick, I do have, I got word from Commissioner Dyke's office that I think she's going to reach out to me this afternoon. What were the dates that we were looking to try to get together with her?
So after I hung up with you this morning, we got a message that she wants dates in March. So we've already reached out to your office to try and schedule those. The dates we had tentative were either the 17th or the 18th next week, but
okay. Okay, so that's probably why she called. Okay, so I will have, I'm gonna have Tia. Tia's away for a couple days, Rick, but I'll have her reach out to you early next week, and because my schedule is just a little weird in March, but I'll have her reach out to you, and hopefully the dates that we come up with are good for all the others as well. Okay?
Sure.
All right, having said that, listen, folks, thank you. I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of Mayor Mark Loretti, and I hope you all have a good weekend. It's a long holiday weekend, so Be safe and have fun. Thanks.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mayor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ed.
Boy, I gotta tell you, there's a lot of camaraderie here today. And, you know, we may have a new indoor record here today with meeting time.
It appears that way.
Wow. Okay, don't let me hold things up then. Item number 8, environmental planning. Rick.
With your permission, Mr. Chairman, we have, we're just going to give you an update today on where we are. We've discussed in the executive session of the executive board meeting in January some additional details. But what I want to do is first recognize people who are with us, the congressional staff that has been helping with federal assistance on that. And we're joined today by Lou Mangini from Congresswoman DeLaura's office, Janine Lupo from Congresswoman Hayes' office, Ellen Graham from Senator Blumenthal's office, and we've had assistance from Senator Murphy and Representative Hines as well on this effort. So I would also recognize today that we're joined by 2 state reps, Representative Kara Rochelle representing Ansonia and Derby, as well as freshman Representative Mary Wheelander, who also represents part of Derby, and Orange and Woodbridge in addition. I don't think I've missed anyone else who's with us today on this issue either. So what we've done, Aaron has really done all the work. He's been incredible with this. For those of you who haven't gone there, take a look at the web page where there's a story map and lots of information. We keep adding to that. We're also sending this out on all our social platforms right now. We've generated a second letter for the docket to the FERC, indicating our concern about the condition of the dam and our broad approach to looking for fish passage. We had a briefing with congressional staff. We also participated in Senator Blumenthal's press conference at the site. We've met with Deputy Commissioner Mason Trumbull, who has jurisdiction over rivers and fisheries, I should say. So what Mayor O'Leary was referring to is we're trying to put together a meeting. It's between NVCOG and DEEP. So between yourselves and Commissioner Dykes, along with Deputy Commissioner Trumbull and their staff. We plan to invite our coalition partners to that from Save the Sound and Kevin Zach from Naugatuck River Revival Group. We expect that we'll have some participation from our active folks in the federal and state delegations on this matter. And moving on. So we've made a request for confidential information about the dam and dam safety. That is something that we have not heard back on yet. We had to execute all kinds of non-disclosure agreements to get this. This has been held private since the Patriot Act was adopted. But we are deeply concerned, as I've said before in other meetings, about the condition of this facility. We've also generated a letter from all of you, from the board to DEEP, which you've all been copied on, asking for them to take a more active role in the regulatory process with the FERC. And just quickly to review, the FERC takes conditions to be placed on the exemptee, in this case, the dam owner, from the resource agencies. The 2 resource agencies who can create these conditions are both DEEP and the Fish and Wildlife Service, Federal Fish and Wildlife Service. So we're proceeding with a strategy which could lead to additional docket filings. I did not, frankly, because I didn't want to pay him, I didn't bring our attorney for this issue here today. And if we have additional briefings, they'll generally be an executive session with the attorney. And generally we schedule those at the executive committee. So even if you can't make an executive committee meeting, if you want to sit in on the executive session for that portion of it, it would be good to have you all there in the future. I think that's it. So that's the update right now. We're going to continue, as I said, we'll meet with the commissioner. We're going to continue to work with the federal delegation and hopefully apply enough pressure and get the conditions from the resource agencies so that the FERC takes action on this facility. Happy to answer any questions if the board has anything.
Rick, Ed St. John has a question.
Sure.
Rick, Kevin Zach has been the guardian angel of the Naugatuck River for many, many years. Does he have a, is he somewhere, is he in, can he be involved in somehow, at least sitting on the sidelines? I know he's not a member of the COG, but is there some way that we can keep him informed of what's going on? Because his steady hand is what we desperately need to follow everything through in the river.
Thank you for that. Actually, so we have this coalition, which is NVCOG, Save the Sound, and the Naugatuck River Revival Group, along with others. So we have a steering committee that meets weekly. Kevin's on that steering committee along with myself, Aaron. And
thank you.
Mayor O'Leary has asked that we include Kevin in any meetings that we schedule with the state or federal entities.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you. Any other questions I can answer on this matter?
Walked over there, we went in. They listened.
With that, Mr. Chairman, I think we're good to go to move on to item B.
Item B.
Okay.
Aaron.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Aaron to go through this. The reason we're putting it in front of you is before we proceeded with it, we wanted to make sure the board had a comfort level with this proposal. Aaron, if you can, please.
Sure. So we were approached by Brand Builders, which is a company that organizes regional and municipal composter and rain barrel sale events. Brand Builders partners with local and regional governments to set up compost bin and rain barrel distribution events. They've worked with other COGs in Connecticut and held municipal and regional events throughout the Northeast. How these events work is Brand Builders sets up a branded online store that features popular backyard composter bins, rain barrels, and other accessories at discounted prices. You can see an example of a store that was set up for a neighboring COG here on the slide. And on the right, you can see some of the products that are offered. So compost bins retail for $100, but it's offered here to residents for about $55. Rain barrels can be found online for around $90 plus shipping, but it's offered here at the price of $70. The COG and municipalities would promote the online store to residents through social media, on our websites, and through press releases. Residents would order items from the online store and select from prearranged pickup times and locations that we would coordinate ahead of time. Brand Builder staff would deliver and distribute products at those times and locations with the help of COG staff and volunteers. We've still spoken to some of our colleagues at other COGs that have sponsored these sales in the past, and they report that the events have been very successful and popular with residents. So, we think it's a really great way to distribute affordable quality equipment to get residents started with composting and collecting rainwater with little or no cost to the towns or the COG. So some benefits, so it would promote organics waste diversion out of the municipal waste stream, and compostable material makes up about 1/3 of residential waste by weight. Rain barrels can help conserve drinking water and limit outdoor water use. Towns that participate would be eligible for points towards sustainable CT certification or recertification. And since rain barrels can divert stormwater from your MS4, it might also help on that front as well. So, overall, we think this is a good opportunity. And like Rick said, we wanted to bring it to the board to discuss to make sure there were no objections or concerns before we pursued something like this further.
I would just add that, so we've checked this out. We could not find any, and Aaron tried, we could not find any competitors in this space. And the items are genuinely at a significant discount from what they can buy it in the regular marketplace. It is a for-profit company, and that's the reason I'm bringing it in front of you, is I wanted to make sure that everyone was comfortable that we were going to let this company market this item and then deliver them into our communities. The only expense, we're not taking any money, we're not collecting any money, we're not paying any money. All we're doing is sponsoring a site where the items can be dropped off. People will order them online through this store that's branded with NVCOG, or your towns if you want. And when the items come in, when the trucks come in, we just have to sponsor a place for them to meet residents and pick up their items. But we've gotten very good feedback. This company works with hundreds of governmental entities around the country and has worked with several in Connecticut that we've gotten positive feedback from.
And I will say, we looked into purchasing wholesale as well, and we could purchase bulk for 500 units for $40 or $45 a piece. So basically what Brand Builders is offering is to take care of all of the logistics and the sales and the website for $10 or $15 per unit, which seems pretty reasonable.
So are there any questions or concerns?
I have a question, Rick. Aaron mentioned little or no cost to the COG or the towns. So what is that cost?
The only cost is if we have to send a staff person out to a site to supervise the distribution of the units when they're delivered. That's all.
Okay, so the COG or the towns do not have to lay out any capital in order to purchase these at all. It'll all be a direct sale and we are just going to do distribution.
Correct.
Yes.
We just have to facilitate the delivery. That's all.
And we would be asking, if there's interest, we'd be asking for a few towns to offer sites to hold these events. So, schools or, public works garages or something like that.
Understood.
Is this a one-time deal?
So
You have to do it in April or May or whatever it is, and then that's it? Or is it
We were
gonna-
going to do it for Earth Day this year, but we can continue to host the store, I think, for as long as we want. The question is one of delivery. When the units are delivered in bulk, it's a lower price, but nothing stops people from going on and ordering throughout the year. It's just a little more expensive.
How are you going to reach out to the public for this?
So we looked at social media, possibly even purchasing some Facebook ad, $100 to reach more people. We would do a press release, get the word out any way we can. And we would ask the municipalities to do the same as well, to post on social media and to get it out, on their websites and things like that.
And the target is to have them available for Earth Day?
So we're looking at dates that they're available in April and May right now. So it'd probably be end of April, early May. There would be a weekend day or 2 days where there would be, pickups available at certain times at certain locations. So it might be 2 locations on a Saturday and then a location on a Sunday. We haven't really looked at the details yet, but that seems to be how other COGs have organized it.
We also have to look at the geography of where the purchases come from, so that we can pick convenient spots for the pickups.
I'm thinking that our Conservation Commission would probably be interested, but they only meet once a month, so that they're gonna, the sooner we can get the information, the better off it'll be for us.
Well, like I said, we don't need a vote from you, but we wouldn't pursue it if there was substantial objection. If there's no real objection, then we plan to participate in it and get the information out to your towns as quickly as possible.
Okay.
I certainly take no exception. I think it's probably a good idea to offer this service to our residents. If they take advantage, all well and good. No harm.
All right, we'll get right on it.
Okay, is there any other business to come before the Council of Governments?
Motion to adjourn, sir.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good, have a day.
Motion carries. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you all.
Share the love.